What is it about her why you can't close the door on her? What's up, everybody? This is Nakada, the author of Heart on Break. Heart on Break is my new book challenging men to take a break from relationships in order to become better men. I'm going to give you an inside sneak peek at the chapter Closing the Door. Closing the Door is a chapter that I personally had to go through, literally. And I know a lot of other men who had to go through very similar situations with having to close the door on women who are not right for their lives. We've all been through certain situations with people who we think we like, people who we want to like, and people who like us. And none of that even really matters if you know good and well that this person is not right for you. But for various other reasons, men continue to have relationships with women they know are not right for them. And why is that? I can't specifically say what the issue is for every man. I know in my case, I was going through a few things with my self-confidence. I was going through a few things regarding to where I wanted to be in my life. And I allowed women to come into my life that I knew weren't gonna cut it. I liked them though. I didn't like them the way I needed to like them to have a fulfilling relationship though. And I knew that from the get-go, and I still allowed the situation to happen simply because my willpower was weak at the time. And man, we really have to be able to admit this. We have to be able to admit that when your willpower is weak, one of the first things that go with it is your decision-making skills. And when it comes to willpower, your willpower is intricately tied into your sexual drive. You see, it's no coincidence that you can't say no to that woman that you have the best sex with. It's no coincidence that you can't say no to the typical 3 women that most men can't say no to. One would be the cut buddy or the friend with benefits, an ex from the past, or the mother of your children. These are women that find their way into your life based on your shortcomings and your weaknesses. Heart on Break is a book that talks about the holistic perspective of what it takes for a man to really go inside of himself and find out where the problems are so he can heal himself. It's important for men to close the door on the wrong woman. See, the wrong woman can become very dangerous to your life. A lot of men don't know that because they're too busy having sex with this wrong woman all the time, because perhaps that's all she's good for. Or perhaps you're just too busy accepting what she has to give you, and that's the only reason you keep her around. There are a lot of different reasons why a man would want to keep a woman he knows is not right for him around in his life. But the main reason is because there's something going on within him. The willpower that it takes to say no to something that you really enjoy is not going to come to you overnight. It just isn't. It's going to require for you to be disciplined in your approach. It's going to require for you to change a few things that you do. When you read Heart on Break, you're going to see that some of the things that I talk about in this book are a direct result of me not closing the door. And it's important for men to understand these things. You see, when you get involved with a woman who seems nice, seems great on the surface level, or perhaps says that she doesn't want to be in a relationship with you and she's okay with just a casual sexual relationship, whatever the case may be, it's all good in the beginning because nobody really wants to commit and everybody just wants to have fun. But the real truth is, after sex, feelings get involved. And it's not just on the woman's behalf, it's oftentimes on the man's behalf as well too. You see, when your willpower becomes weak, you allow a lot of different things to sneak in because the door is left open. One of the biggest reasons why men do this is because of this illusionary idea that you want to have options. Perhaps it's someone you've known from the past and you don't want to fully be mean to her or close the door on her because, hey, relationships don't work out well these days, so you've got to go ahead and leave the door open just in case, you know, things don't work out with the person that you're with and you want to slide back into her life, and maybe you just know that she's going to give it up whenever you come back. These are some of the reasons why men leave the door open on women that they know they should be closing. You see, I like to call these women illusionary options because realistically speaking, if you really wanted to be with her, you'd be spending all your time trying to be with her. And it's that simple. Nobody wants to be with their options. Sleeping with someone who's just an option to you on a consistent basis, you find yourself committing treason against yourself. It's really something that you should not be doing. And a lot of men don't see these women as life-threatening until they're $50,000 in child support or gone to jail because she did something that caused you to react. These different situations are critical to the life of a man, and a man really has to be serious about what he's doing with certain women in his life. You know, women are different these days, and so are men. But one of the things that's for sure, that if you keep dragging her along and you really do not want to be with her, you're going to hurt her. And you're going to realize that the hurt that you cause her is simply because of the hurt that you have been carrying for yourself. A lot of the hurt goes deep. And this is what the book is really talking about. I'm not here to tell men a fairy tale story. I'm keeping it 100 with everybody. Seriously, a lot of men, when they're young men, are not encouraged to pursue their purpose. Instead, we're watching TV, we want to be jocks, we want to be rappers, we want to be musicians, we want to be rock stars, and we feel as if that's the way that's going to attract more women into our sphere. And sometimes it does, but it doesn't attract quality women simply because quality women are harder and harder to find. So when you find something that you like a little bit, I understand that you want to keep her around. I get it. But once you have evolved to a certain level, you're going to know whether she's worth keeping around or not. Because it's going to be simple. Is your life better with her or is it worse? If it's worse, you have to close the door on her. I cannot stress to you how important this is. Because the wrong woman lingering in your life is nothing but a distraction. A lot of guys feel as if it's just the in thing and it's a cool thing that floats their ego to consistently be talking to all these different women that serve no purpose than just a little conversation. Or perhaps a hookup here and there, like I said before. The exes, the baby moms, and the cut buddies, they've got to go if you're ever going to find somebody quality. And that's just the way it is. You have to be able to close the door on these women. And if you know within your own self that you have some issues that you need to work on, that's what Hard on Break is about. It's about taking a break. Take that break from relationships, dig within yourself, find out what's plaguing you, find out how you can fix it and move forward. Because realistically speaking, and I'll say this a million times, love is great, but it's not worth it if you don't have purpose. So learn how to close the door on the wrong women. This is a real good chapter in the book, along with many other chapters that describe the climate of relationships for men these days. Women have changed, so must men. We must evolve. And if we don't evolve, we must face extinction. This is Nakada. Make sure you check out Hard on Break. You can get a copy on hardonbreak.com.